Sounding good. Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's pairing session. We are planning to look into this issue as soon as I start sharing my screen. Here we are. So the merge request widget for the license compliance currently does not have any telemetry tracking events, whatever you want to call it. But the good thing is that the code quality MR widget already has some. And if I understood correctly, the only thing the code quality MR widget is currently tracking and writing into our database is the usage of this button. Looking into it, there's probably not a lot more to track on this, but that's what it is. So we're on my local GDK in an MR that has the code quality, merge request widget, and the license compliance widget as well. So is there no expand? Yeah, because the license compliance is just green, but that is nothing to worry about now. One more thing I do have prepared is those are the docs for how this kind of thing is tracked. Okay. Metrics dictionary guide. Hopefully that is the right thing.
So it does look like it shares some stuff in common with the way that the quick actions.
Yeah. I don't know about you, but I usually skip the docs and jump into the code, and then I waste time browsing through the code and go back to the docs once more. But
yeah, I don't know whether they've improved recently, because I know I I introduced a new quick action recently and had to generate some of these YAML files. And I can't remember if I did them by hand at first and then found out I could have auto-generated them. I then auto-generated them, but then found that the generator isn't quite up to date. So there were a few sort of properties missing that I had to manually add in, but it may have been updated since then. So
okay, I have not touched or seen such a YAML file before. I'm assuming they are living in here. Is that where they're living?
Yeah, let me see if I can find.
That would be cool if you would find this MR or something.
YAML. Have I found one? Yeah, so I found, to be fair, it looks like you've got one there, but I just happened to be looking at addcontactsweekly.yaml, but it's probably pretty much identical to this. How many lines you got? 25. Yeah, I've got 25 as well. So this one is perfect. Okay, so this is the one that already exists, you were saying, and then you need to create one sort of similar to this.
That is just a random one I just picked up. So no idea, like.
Oh yeah, that's not code quality. Sorry, that's code review. Yeah, but yeah, that's
exactly.
That's pretty much what it looks. The one that I recently added that's like, so we could try using the tool to generate our one, and we could see if it's got 25 lines in it. If it's not, then we might manually need to add a few.
Absolutely, that sounds great. I'm still confused. Like, what do all those numbers mean? And
I think it's just the date stamp.
Okay.
I don't really know exactly what it is. You know, I know we've got all these things like snowplow and cabana and all the, what actually consumes this file, but I know that these files are kind of needed. But
so auto-generated, obviously, then.
Yeah, but we'll need some tweaking once we generate them.
Gotcha. Okay. What kind of tool would I use or command to generate those?
I imagine you're on the right page, but I'll have a quick look on my screen as well.
Yeah, in the meantime, I'm gonna check on another thing which we're definitely gonna be needing in the future later on.
The good thing is the YAML doesn't prevent us from, well, I say doesn't prevent us from writing the code. I don't know how we go about testing something like this because I don't know how or where the data gets sent. So
yeah, wait. So wait a second. So you just said you touched those kind of things before. So you basically introduced a new tracking event, or did you just edit an existing one?
No, I introduced a new one.
Okay.
Not with the primary, not that being the primary person. Let me find the MR. That'll probably be a great way to.
Awesome.
Yeah, that'd be a good way to. Yeah, so I was adding a new quick action and I don't know what you want to call it, prerequisite. All of the quick actions must have a tracking event attached to them.
Gotcha.
So I will ping you a link to the MR. And I think that someone very kindly actually provided me a link to sort of say, oh, you know, this is where you need to go. This is the docs on generating, etc. So we'll probably find all the links and information we need on this MR.
Awesome, but okay. So that kind of says to me that I've been looking at the wrong docs, right?
I don't know, you might, but so I think it's Alina, if I've pronounced that correctly, her comment. Okay, yeah, you can see that I was adding 2 quick actions, and each quick action has a YAML for weekly metrics and a YAML for monthly metrics. So running the script to generates the 2 YAMLs, if I remember rightly. Or did I have to run? I can't. We'll figure that out in a minute. But yeah, there's on the overview tab, one of the early comments from Alina has a link to some documentation about it. A little bit further down, I think it's this one here. Yeah, and you've got a link, the metrics dictionary guide and how to generate metric files. I think you might have been looking at one of those. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I've been looking on the first, but the second sounds much better.
Excellent.
The only question I have on this, like, I get it with the YAML file, and this will then probably on build just make something out of this. That sounds totally fine.
We then need to actually generate the event somewhere, right?
Yeah, that sounds great. The only thing I'm asking myself is, how is the YAML connect to the actual button click? That is what I don't get yet.
Good question. So I'm just going to look at my diff to try and understand how. Right, so with this one, there's a quick actions YAML. No, that's not, I don't think that's the right one. I'm sure there's somewhere where you map. I thought there was, but maybe there isn't. I think there's something automagic for quick actions that says, you know, use the name of the quick. So the metric, as long as the metric is defined in a certain way. So maybe the same is true for, however, I don't know how we wire these things up, but you said the code quality's got telemetry already.
Yeah, how do you feel about, like, let's maybe start with creating those YAMLs, and if you have those, then we're going to dive into how the actual process works.
Absolutely.
So what is going on here? The generator takes a list of key paths and 3 options out. It's not for EE, I think, pretty sure. Okay, I don't get this. Indicates the metric directory and must be one of those.
So, yeah, this is where I'm a little bit hazy. I guess if all we want to send is counts, then I guess we do counts, but I don't know whether. So I had to do, what did I have to do? I did counts 7 days and counts 28 days. So I'm just sending counts, I guess. Do you know if that's all you need to send, or
you know what, for now, that is all, because
awesome.
in this session, I'd be much more interested in actually getting this going than in just what kind of params to use. So,
awesome.
let's just assume that's the right thing.
So it's easy to undo if we do it wrong, but should we try counts all and see if that generates the 7 day and the 28 day ones?
Awesome. Okay, so let me do it like that, hopefully. So the command would be bundle aggregates generate GitLab common. That will probably stay the same. We can just freestyle this, can we?
Usage metric definition. So I think you have to. I think this is static. This bit, I think, is the counts.issues that I think we need to tweak.
Gotcha.
Counts users. Yeah, what are we actually calling it? That's.
Let me just go back to UMR and just check in on the YAMLs that we're having. Key path, product section. Let's give it a try. We can always undo. Okay. Let's see what this does. Or do you have any concerns?
I would change dir to what was it? All count or count or whatever it was. It looks like there's a class name in there as well that needs tweaking.
So that would be counts all. Class name. What kind of class are we speaking about here?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
I just need to run this and see if it does any damage.
I don't know if that's the class that's going to be calling, like that's going to be generating these metrics, or if that's because it feels like repetition of the license compliance full report, but
it would be, I'm just guessing here, it would be amazing if there would actually be a DOM element class that it would count clicks on.
that would be magic, right?
But I don't think it's that easy.
No,
so
nor do I.
Okay, need to get some stuff on my working copy, then I can just reset, I suppose.
I feel like I might be wrong, but we maybe need to use snake case rather than camel case.
Okay, you know what? I'll just. Gonna do this once more anyhow. So snake case rather than camel case. So that would look like this.
Yep. Forgive me if I'm leading you down the wrong. Just looking at this one because it's kind of quick actions underscore add underscore. And I think generally most of our file names, file paths, etc., use snake case.
Gotcha. Okay.
So what about the class name? That's where I don't know whether to go with.
Here we go. Here's the documentation about the class name indicates the instrumentation class. For example, users creating the instrumentation class. Here we go, metrics instrumentation. Okay, it's some kind of Ruby class, I'd say.
Right. So we need to actually create a class that's going to be responsible for logging these metrics. Does that sound?
Yep. But you didn't have to do this for...
No, so the reason I didn't have to do this, I'm going to try and find it now.
Because class already exists, right?
Yeah, there's a class that...
There we go, instrumentation class.
That's it. Yeah, if you look for that, there's a Ruby file with that name. And you can see that there's, I was going to say some magic in there. Yeah, I just do Control P and pop it in there. That's it. Yeah. That's it. Perfect.
Metrics, instrumentation. Seems like there was a whole folder for this.
See, I unfortunately, maybe on that page you're on, the documentation, it might explain, but I don't know what. I vaguely know or was under the impression that Redis is some kind of caching thing, but I have no idea what HLL is.
It definitely is. But honestly, this looks to me like this thing is a multi-purpose. Like you've been, what was this thing about where you actually touched it? What did you do in here? So this is about
there's a new quick
the
action.
CRM context once more, cool. Or the quick actions, sweet.
So there's already somewhere, I can't remember exactly what it is, but there's something that maps like quick actions to the, like it knows. I think the default is if whatever the quick action name is, so if it's add contact, then it will use that as the metric name. But there's a file somewhere that has some exceptions and kind of, it says, oh, if it's add or relabel or add label or remove label or unlabel, then map all of these to the same thing.
Absolutely. The only thing is the Redis HLL metric. This thing is not tied to any quick actions. So I'll just go with the same instrumentation class.
Awesome. Okay, great.
So because I don't see anything in here, and going through the files next to it, it says like base metric and host name and generic. So these are more separated in the way they work and not with what they actually work, I'd say.
Cool.
So that's just me guessing, but it kind of sounds good. This is looking good, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Sweet. Let us run and see about the next step. Here we are. This is interesting as well. Okay, so this is still running. Here we go.
Why did it explode? What happened?
Oopsie.
What didn't it like? I feel like the console bit it didn't like. I don't. I have a feeling I might have ran it for like 7 and 28 separately. I don't.
7 and 28.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Well, I don't.
For the console, right?
Yeah, but I don't know if that's what's broken it. I don't think it is because you ran it for console before, didn't you? And it didn't explode. So why didn't it explode when you did it? So what has changed?
The class name.
The class name.
You know what? If not, then just try to.
I mean, we ultimately it generates the file, but then we can tweak the file.
Yeah, let's try it with the base class, because I'm more than happy to walk away with a prototype on this and
yeah,
the adjustment.
Yeah. Oh, it looks like your metric definition has gone back to camel case for some reason.
Has it? Oh yeah, it does. Okay. What I'm always starting thinking about is actually this command, which is kind of interesting because config metrics, I get this counts issues.yaml. Oh, are those just big files that we then regenerate? Is that it?
How do you mean, sorry?
Do those files already exist? No. Okay.
I think they've just given the example that doesn't actually exist in the code base. So you got why don't you use so go back to what you ran that didn't throw an error, which I think was with count. Yeah, let's keep that as a class name because we can change the class name. What I was gonna say is, but let's change the case of the metric definition. Sorry to be a pain. And
good.
Again, forgive me because I might be telling you the wrong thing here as well.
Easy. I'm like, as you just mentioned, we can always change the class name, so absolutely no worries about this. This might not be working because that is just basically nonsense in there.
Yeah, well, that's what I thought, but it didn't throw an error, did it, when we ran it the first time? Yeah,
because it probably just finds nothing or something like that.
Oh no, but it's thrown an error again this time. Why is it throwing an error now and it wasn't before? Is there any explanation whatsoever of what this error is?
Great point. What?
Pattern, metric definition, invalid error. The first one you didn't error, did it?
That is weird. Maybe we need to remove the file.
You think because it's already there, it's okay.
Just thinking out loud here.
Yeah. No, that sounds good. So we'll go with. Oh, it's still there.
Wait.
I think you might just have to RM it because it's.
It looks like. Oh, there we go. Okay, yeah, but this actually does make sense. So this is count issues then. Sweet.
I hope it's just moaning because it's a duplicate.
Could be.
Let's hope so. So we'll try with
the best settings that we have. So this would be
the readers.
The class code once more.
Meanwhile, I suppose I should have a look at the rake task, shouldn't I, to have a look.
That was it.
Hey,
awesome. Today we learned. Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet. So seems like we are having the file created, so that's good news. What about the next command? Go raising bar. Sweet.
So what I don't quite understand, what I expected that to do was create a 7-day YAML and a 28-day YAML, but it's just created one called counts all or something along those lines. So I don't know where we find out if in this document it tells us which we need. Should we have a 7 and a 28, or should we have a counts all? I don't know how we decide which one of these we should, or which ones we should be using.
Yeah, great question. I'm just trying to basically understand what's going on in here. Let's stick with the single metric example and what we just executed. To have those side by side is GitLab usage metric definition, cool. Name of the rule, that's also fine. Dear, we went with counts all and class name. So going from this, well, it's interesting because in this direction, in this directory, they're using 7D, and here they're going by counts _ 7D. Which,
oh yeah,
that's two different things.
Yeah.
Same in the
so I think they're just aliases then. I think 7D and count 7D are the same, that they actually generate the same thing.
Okay, so just going after that, I'd now just say create. And
I think that's just the output, isn't it?
No.
So
it is. Oh my bloody, yeah, absolutely. That's what they're referring to.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Okay, great.
So the only, I think we're almost bang on. The only sort of, as I say, uncertainty in my head is, do we need 7-day or 28-day or both or all?
That is a great question.
You know what we can do? We can find the YAML for, so metrics. So what was the one that already existed? License compliance, was it?
Code quality.
Code quality.
Already existing.
So testing full code quality report. So we've got a weekly and a monthly. So I think we need the 7-day and 28-day. So forgive me for telling you to use all, because I don't think all was the right one to use.
Okay, so then let's remove this thing once more.
Yep.
And rerun it. Okay, what do we need to change?
So DIR, let's just do 7D and see what happens.
Counts _ 7D, right?
Yeah.
Could be, both works, but
yeah, exactly. I think it feels like the counts bit might be optional, but
that should be okay. Sweet. So where did you actually, could you send me the path to the code quality ones?
Yes, okay.
Code YAML.
So if you, because you're doing the same thing as me, if you change your YAML to YML and put the word metric at the beginning of, yeah.
No.
This is exactly how I found it. So,
Sweet.
And I went for about the 5th or 6th one down where it says I test in full code quality report weekly or monthly. Exactly, bingo. That one, that's perfect.
Looking good. Okay, cool. What about here? Okay, sweet. So we've got this run, and then we're just gonna update it to 28 and do it once more.
Yep.
Awesome. So they should now be okay. So next step would probably be to think about between the connection for the button click and the actual YAML file.
Yeah, exactly. And I have no idea.
Funny thing, it's erroring out once more. Do we have to rename anything in here?
No, I don't. I suspect that they've made a change recently, and I think someone's broken it. But I could be pointing fingers.
Yeah, we could just copy the YAML manually.
I think so. Yeah.
And yeah, so that is nothing to really be worried about for now.
Yeah. Let's. I think just having one of them there for now is fine as well, because you can even ask Alina or someone the question around.
Absolutely.
Do I need these two, or how do I know which one I need to generate?
Can you still hear me?
Sorry.
Oopsie.
What have you done?
Okay, my computer seems to be struggling. Well, you can hear me now, right?
I can, yeah. Awesome. I just realized something slightly odd. It may not matter, but it seems weird that the file name that is generated doesn't have like the suffix at the end of like underscore, weekly or.
It's so, full record now.
Yeah. We'll stick with this anyway, because somebody can tell us exactly what we need to do once we kind of push it up, right? So
absolutely.
So as you say, we need to figure out how we now link this.
Yep. And you know how I'd go with that? This is what I'm. So here's an event.
And this if it's as easy as I think it is, this is pretty awesome. No, that can't be right. I've just found the code quality, and there's literally a property. Let me send you a link to the file I'm looking at. There's a property that's called track action. If it's that easy, then that's awesome, but that seems far too optimistic. I just popped something in the chat. I don't know if you want to have a.
Yeah. Okay, cool. What do I search for in here? Track?
So yeah, I mean, I might be way off, but I'm trying to work out how. So I'm going to look for the report section component now. Just have a look how if we have to implement whatever they've implemented, or if there's some kind of magic in Vue that report section .view. I'm going to
honestly, that really might be it. Like, what else is track action going to do? So, and it would actually make.
No, there isn't. Oh, okay. I'm going to send you another link. You know what I'd like to, for one of the next following week's pairing sessions, it'd be super awesome. I've just sent you another link. For one of the following pairing sessions, we should try using what's it called, live share in Visual Studio.
Oh yeah, I'd love that. I've actually never used it before.
I've do some pairing each week with another community contributor, and we've used it a few times. It's pretty cool.
Sweet, awesome.
So in here, you can see we passed the track action prop in, and then there's a method that then accesses that. So if you keep searching, there you go. And we call this API.trackRedis HLL user event. So I think that is exactly what you need.
API from API. Interesting. And what is this track action going to be? Is this just a string?
I think it was, yeah.
Awesome.
And that's the string that kind of matches the YAML definition, I think.
Okay, sweet. This is sounding perfect. I have to leave on time today, so
I was about to say actually, because like a few of my team finish at 4, so I might make an exit now if you don't feel like I'm leaving you in the lurch.
Absolutely not. That was
awesome.
that was a great introduction.
Yeah,
you said at the beginning you know nothing about it. I'm not so sure.
I don't know. We'll see if we've gone down the right track, and we'll also see afterwards whether or not we missed a really obvious article that defined everything that we just kind of discovered for ourselves, but we could have just read somewhere. Because I definitely think we could do. We could add some notes maybe to the docs afterwards to help people in future.
Yeah, that'd be great. But this is kind of what I'm taking away from this. I'll be creating those YAML files somehow, maybe with the command, we'll see. And to the DOM elements where I actually need to track those links, I'll be adding the data attribute. And this data attribute, or this string rather, I'll then be sending to this API method, and that should most likely do the trick.
Yeah, I think so. And I'm sure you already know this, but I think product intelligence, they might be called, the team that kind of are the experts in this. And definitely Elena who commented on mine. Although I think she might be out of office at the moment, but
sweet.
She would
be a great pick for reviewer on this for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. Let's see what I can
Great
do.
to speak. Enjoy the rest of your day and your weekend.
Likewise, you do. And it was great fun. Have a good one.
See you next week. Cheers. Bye-bye.